In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a solid that we can later on machine. This video is just going to be about making the solid so that we can have shorter videos. We are going to make a 1, 2, 3 block. It's pretty much basic tools for machining. And to do this, you want to go to the Create Sketch on a new design. I like to start with the top up. It won't matter because when you machine it later, you can designate which way Z vertical is. But a 1, 2, 3 block is of course 1, 2, 3 in inches. So we'll take this corner here for a rectangle and put our first corner down, and we'll pull it out. And the 1/875, we can just change it to 2 inches, and we'll press tab, and the next dimension is 3.244, which is where it ended up at. We'll change it to 3 inches and then press enter, and now we have a shaded blue geometry. We can go to our isometric view by the little cube in the corner, press the house, and that gives us our 2D dimension for the 1, 2, 3 block. Now we're going to add the 1-inch dimension, which is going to be an extrude. So we'll keep our sketch palette open, and we'll go to solid up in the left hand corner, press solid. Now this second button here is called extrude. It will take your geometry and make a solid out of it. Press that. Our geometry is automatically highlighted. If you have more geometry on a page, you have to highlight what you want extruded. So ours is automatically highlighted, and we'll take that dimension. It's got 0, 0 right here. Now put a -1. That gives us our 1, 2, 3 solid area now. This is the beginnings of a 1, 2, 3 block. You can leave this like this. You can actually buy 1, 2, 3 blocks that are ground solid. They're pretty good because shavings don't get in all the holes. For this one, we're going to add all the holes to it. Now I don't know the exact dimensions of the holes, but we're going to put 15 holes on top, and 3 holes on the side, and 5 holes on this side. So we already have our 1, 2, 3 block extruded. Next thing we have to do is put our holes. Now 1, 2, 3 blocks come with an array of 1/4 20 holes. Some of them are tapped, some of them are not. For us, we will tap every other hole. They're like that so that you can use them for setup blocks. You can bolt them together. You can bolt them to maybe an angle plate, maybe the table on your machine. The setup is only limited to your imagination. So now we want to add some holes, and I like to start with at least a point. So we'll create a new sketch, select top surface of our 1, 2, 3 block, and we can go to create again, pull the tab down and go to point, and we can just drop a point right there. Now since we are making 5 holes across and 3 down, we have to split this 2 inches by 3 inches. And let's just start with a hole first. Create, actually holes in solid. Press solid, go to the hole making button, highlight your surface you want the hole to be on. It pulls up this little crosshairs with a hole in it. I drag it to where it snaps to my geometry. At least it should snap. And it's not snapping. We'll cancel that. Let's do this a little different. Let's go to create a circle. And we'll drag it over our geometry. And we'll make 200 thousandths holes, which is the minor diameter for a 1, 2, 3, actually a quarter 20 hole. It's 203, but you know, it'll be okay for the sake of this exercise. Now, what is the spacing we can use for this? Let's make it easy on ourselves. Let's go with a dimension from the center of our hole to the edge. It's going to be half of 3 inches. Yeah, 3 divided by 2. 1.5, not 3.2. 3 divided by 2, which is 1.5. Now, we're in the center in the 3-inch dimension, but we're not in the center of the other way. So we'll take that edge again, the other edge, center of the circle again, and we're going to make that 1 inch. Now our hole is in the middle. Now we can make an array easier, and I'll show you the other buttons, the pattern buttons. So we can extrude that hole now. So you can either press the shortcut E, or we can go back to solid. Press the extrude button again, highlight our circle geometry, and I like to drag it around so I can see what's going on. We don't want to extrude up because it'll just give us a new solid. What we want to do is extrude down, which creates a cut automatically. So we'll do -1 because that dimension is 1 inch. And press enter. Now we have a pre-drilled hole through this. Okay. So let's take that, and now we'll make an array. We'll go to create, pattern, rectangular pattern. It pulls up our rectangular pattern little window here. We want a rectangular pattern. We want faces. It's going to ask you which object you want to use. I want to use that cutout. It's going to ask you which axis. This axis. And it's going to say, do you want extent or do you want spacing? Let's do extent and see what we get. Now let's go with 3 holes, 2 directions, and we'll do the next axis, 2 directions, distance. Let's see what 250 does on both of these. Not much. Let's try 1/2 inch. That looks a little better. 0.5. Okay. Now we want we don't like extent. Let's do spacing. Now let's go with that look. It still doesn't look like a normal 1, 2, 3 block. Let's make it 5/8. 625 in fractions. That's too close to the edge. So let's go 9/16. That looks a lot better. Do the other one, same spacing. 9/16. Press enter. Now our spacing looks pretty good. It goes all the way through. Alright, now let's take these 15 holes and let's make half of them threaded. Let's press the thread button here, and it's going to ask you, ANSI thread. That's fine. Size, automatic. We don't want auto. We want quarter. Quarter is here. Designation, we want quarter 20 holes. That's the basic. Class, we want a 2A. You can figure out which one you want later. Now we're going to do every other hole. This one, this one, here, 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 and here. Yeah, it says 3B. Again, I want 2B. That's fine. Press OK. Those holes look a little small. Let's change it. Let's go down to our timeline. Double click the last hole we did. Yeah, they look okay. Okay. Now, let's just make it look a little bit better and add a little chamfer to the tops and bottoms here. Let's try this a different way. No, that's good. Here, 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 here. Okay, now you want let's do a nice chamfer, like a 60 thousandths, not 660. That's fine. Press enter. Now we only have the chamfer on one side, but that's fine. We got holes made. Now let's make our 1, 2, 3 block look a little bit better. Let's add a 30 thousandths chamfer to this outside. Again, select our surfaces. We're going to do all 6 sides. Let's flip it over. I press shift and the center mouse button to roll it over. Everything that we didn't get will be here. It looks like we're unclicking things, so let's grab them again. Alright, and we have 11 edges. It should be 12. Last edge right here. Go back to isometric view, and we'll make this 30 thousandths. That looks like a 1, 2, 3 block. Press OK. That's the beginning. Now I'll pause real quick and I'll make the rest of the holes same way, and I'll roll around, show you the rest of the block. Here's a 1, 2, 3 block that I made. It's a little difficult to do the intersecting holes, and before we machine it, I'll show you how that works. But that's pretty much it right there. In the next video, we'll machine it. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. Like and subscribe, please.